Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Five Film Friday. First movie on the list, a movie that I surprisingly enjoyed very much. This is a movie with no words in it at all, Baraka. And you go into that movie, you have to have the right mindset. You can't expect crazy action plot, characters to follow. You just have to know this is a visual experience. My mind started drifting a lot, and I really had to hone in, kind of do some meditating to keep my mind focused. But just very beautiful, a lot of just strong imagery. Specifically, there's a scene of a sweatshop factory, them going through the small, intricate process of making cigarettes, and it cuts right to a businessman just blowing away all that hard work, and so it's heavy. Next movie, Robocop. Also surprisingly super good. And I mean, everybody knows it's a classic action film, but there's just one sequence of Robocop just going around town, busting down doors and shooting evil people, and it's just so pure and actually cinematic at the same time. Very enjoyable. But I mean, there's just a lot of just silly goofiness to it. Just like the fact that Robocop never moves faster than 3 miles per hour. And then it's very confusing how much Robocop has control of himself as the human within. It seems like they could stop him at any time, but don't. But he's also controls some things. It's weird. And then also, I felt like the end of the movie was just laughably horrible. Just a cheesy line to end the whole film. Brings it down half star, sadly. And next film is Tron, which I really just kind of had some high hopes for, but I really felt like it was just an incredibly boring movie. Oh god. It was boring, and it made it very hard to pay attention to, which made it also very confusing, and I was just lost. And it was 2 hours of me just waiting for the movie to be over, really. I just didn't really care what was going on. I didn't really know what was happening. But I will say, I think the graphics and the design of the film is one, seemingly groundbreaking, but also super original. Their costumes are something that you never even see today. Something that crazy and original, lights shining through everywhere. But the one thing I was thinking to myself while watching the movie is that for such a silly concept, the story shouldn't be so boring. They really need to spice it up, you know what I'm saying? Alright, but the next film, 2020 movie, Irreversible, starring Steve Carell. And this movie was so weird. Not in that, the concept was so weird, but, they did so many, weird things. To describe it, there's a scene of the villain basically licking the main character's face, and it's all for comedic effect, but it was so bizarre. Did not see that coming, and there were some very funny moments of that, but also just I don't know what you're trying to do, and I don't feel comfortable watching this. But I will say, the film I think is very valuable for the message that it provides on the insanely corrupt nature of the American voting system. More specifically, campaign election system. All that. It goes into a lot of things that people don't even think about, and it's messed up. So, for that, the movie's pretty good. And then, lastly, the movie Downfall, which, nominated for Best Foreign Film, but the movie's insanely educational. It shines so much light into so many crazy things happening in Germany at that time. Specifically how absolutely insane Hitler was, and how he was just fine with his country just burning in flames just so that he wouldn't have to surrender, basically. But there's so much that goes on with it, and I mean just how a lot of these people were really kind of sucked into the horrors of the war because they lived in Germany, and then coming to grasp that they did actually have responsibility to take the right action and did not. And then, I don't know, it's just really a dark film that is very informative. I will say, really a bit too long and, like, just kind of drags on. Because, I mean, not that it drags on, but it's just some dense subject matter. So, it's not, like, super exciting all the time. So, if you have a short attention span, you might want to break it up like I did. But, that's it for this week, and, come back next week for some more fun and random movies.